Alright, let's look at the practice exam 1, problem number 10. Alright, so let's take the first derivative. Alright, so f prime of x is equal to, alright, so since it's a quotient, we're going to apply the quotient rule. Alright, so we're going to square the denominator. So we have a quantity x squared plus 2 squared. Right? And the derivative of the top is 1 times and denominator, so x squared plus 2 minus top is x, and then derivative of the denominator, which is 2x. Right? So this is going to be equal to, right, so we're going to have, let's see, we have a 2, so maybe I'll just circle it so that we don't miss anything. So we have a 2 on top, so I'm going to just put 2 there. Right, then we have, let's see, we have x squared, 1 really doesn't do anything, x squared minus 2x squared. So if you combine that, you're going to have negative x squared. So negative x squared. Right, then you have the denominator is looking good, so I'm going to keep it. So quantity x squared plus 2 squared. Right, so this is the first derivative. Right, let's take another derivative. So we have f double prime of x is equal to, alright, this is just another quotient rule, so you're going to have a big fraction here. Alright, square the bottom, so you have a quantity x squared plus 2. Alright, so it's squared to begin with. If you square that, it's going to be the fourth power. Right? Alright, derivative of the top is negative 2x. Alright, times the bottom, which is quantity x squared plus 2 squared. Alright, minus the top, just copy 2 minus x squared. Alright, multiply by the derivative of the denominator. So we have to use the general power rule. Put 2 in front. Keep the same quantity, x squared plus 2. And subtract 1 from the power is the first power. I'm not going to write that. And then multiply by derivative of inside, which is 2x. Right? So we're done taking a derivative, right? But we need to simplify this, right? So let's do this. Right, so what we need to do is we need to find common factors. So we're going to pull out all the common factors on the terms on top. Right, so you see that there's 2x here, and there's a 2x there. Right, so I'm going to write once, right, because this is a common factor, so I pull this out. Right. And another thing is there's, let's see, there's 2 of them, x squared plus 2. There's x squared plus 2 here. So I'm going to use this. And since there are 2 of them, I'm going to circle this so that I know that there's another x squared plus 2. But we can pull another common factor out. So you have an x squared plus 2. Right? That's a common factor. Alright, I guess nothing else is in common, so I'm going to have to put here. Alright, we have a negative sign here, so I have to distribute it to x squared. So I'm going to have a minus x squared. Alright, then we're going to distribute the negative sign to 2, so you have a minus 2. Alright. Then second term has a leftover term. So I have a 2 here. Right? 2 is distributed to 2. Right? So that would be 4. But there's a negative sign too. So it's going to be a negative 4. Right? Then we have here. 2 is distributed to negative x squared. but there's a negative sign also distributed, so it's going to be a positive 2x squared. So positive 2x squared, right? And then denominator is x squared plus 2 to the 4th power, right? And we can simplify a little further, right? So there's x squared plus 2. There are 4 of those, so we can cancel those. So I'm going to cancel x squared plus 2 here up here, and there are 4 of those, so I'm going to reduce it to one of them cancel out. So it's going to be out to the 3rd power, right? And also, we can simplify it just a little bit. So this is going to come out to be, I'm going to go here. All right, so 2x is still here. Right, then we have, so we put 2x, and then we put negative x squared and positive 2x squared combined. You're going to have x squared. Right, then we're going to combine negative 2 and a negative 4. That will give us negative 6. Right, then over. Right, so you have quantity x squared plus 2 to the 3rd power. Right, so this is the 2nd derivative. Right, so what we want to do next is that we set this equal to 0 and solve for x. So we have 2x times quantity x squared minus 6 over quantity x squared plus 2 cubed. So we set that equal to 0, right? But you can see that all we have to do is make sure that the numerator is 0. So we have a 2x times a quantity x squared minus 6 is equal to 0, right? Then you can see that they're here. We can make x equal to 0. 2 is never 0, so we can't really do anything about that. But the x could be 0, so that the product is 0. Or we can actually make x squared minus 6 equal to 0, right? So what's this? We have x squared minus 6 equals 0, which means that adding 6, you have x squared is equal to 6. And then we can take the square root of both sides. So you have x is equal to plus or minus square root of 6, right? So x value, there are 3 x values. We know that x could be 0, or x could be plus or minus square root of 6. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.